My headphones.
We are live. Whew. What is Tuesday? Spring
Happy
break?
Tuesday. Spring break.
All of
Yep.
that.
That's spring
All of
break
that at
here.
one time. It's not spring break where you are?
No.
No.
Mississippi is spring break because I got a house full of kids, so it's for sure spring break. But it's Tuesday, so it's time to talk. It's time to be live. It's time to let everybody be heard, man. Let it get out. What last week was so good. We all got our spirits uplifted and got some things off
Yeah.
our chest or
Hmm.
whatever or whatnot. But so we coming into a new week, man. We're gonna start this week off talking about a little bit of government, and local government is the biggest and one of the most important things because it affects you directly, like and immediately. So local government is one of the biggest things we have to deal with. So we're gonna talk about the functions. We're gonna talk about how how it affects us. What can you do to kind of get to that? And we're gonna have Andre Spill on this week. And we ain't gonna waste all morning, just kind of going back and forth. I mean, all day going back and forth. So I'm gonna let Jen get in here and say something. Jen, give a little start, and then we'll get Andre in here.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. We are excited to be back and to have you back with Who's True. If you like or if you don't mind, please share and tag a friend. Tonight's going to be very interesting. As J. Rob already said, we have Alderman Andre Spiller with us tonight, and we are so excited to have him. So I'm just ready to get into it. Let's go.
Xandra, you got anything beforehand?
No, I'm ready. Let's get this show started.
Okay.
Let's. I
Let's
mean, I don't want to belabor the time. I want the people to get what they're gonna get tonight. Let's
okay,
rock.
yeah, cause
Good evening,
let's get
everybody.
let's get Andre in here, man. What's going on, Andre? We got Alderman Andre Spiller with us.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
how y'all doing today? I just want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all for allowing me to be on today. And just talking who's true. You got something positive, and I appreciate you all just for having me on here tonight.
Man, we
All right.
appreciate you
We're
for coming. Cause
Yeah.
we're
actually
grateful.
Andre's my alderman, and I done learned a lot about Andre because he's one of the more active aldermen in our city, if not the most active, as far as like interacting
Kudos.
with people. You know what I'm saying? Because he get out there out front and he'll take them arrows and say what he got to say and go on and get it out the way. So I've learned, man, Andre was in the military for about 17 years. Andre done been a
Yeah.
police officer. He done worked at the post office. So he's very much always been a servant, it seems like, or a protector in some capacity for the people. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So a lot of people
Mhm.
just jump into that thing and don't really uh, know how they got there. But it seems like he's already been that way in some capacity for a while.
Kudos. So we thank you for your service, Alderman Spiller.
Thank you.
We're
So
excited. Let's jump on in.
we're gonna start off with the easy question. What at what point in time did it click in your head to say, you know what? I think I want to do something involving running for office or running for any political office whatsoever. What light bulb went off in your head to make you want to do that?
Well, it started back when I worked for the city, and I seen how people were mistreated, local workers that could not go out and talk to their alderman, and I saw that up front, live and in person. Me working at the fire department, and it's like you couldn't go talk to your local official, but you could vote for your local official. And I didn't think that was a good thing because everybody has a voice, and if someone's voting for you and you can't go talk to them because of rules and regulations, I just thought that was the wrong thing to do, and I saw how my community was suffering because some of the things that other people before me was doing that I wasn't in agreement upon. And I lived here all my life in Brookhaven, and I just want to make sure that Brookhaven get what it deserves, and I want to make sure people get treated, city workers, people out in the community, and all local officials, firemen, police officers, city workers, the ones that pick up the trash and stuff like that. Make sure that their voices is heard as well.
That's a big part of it because I I I think we skip those people sometimes, like the actual city workers,
That's
because
right.
you got to build up from some point, and if you ain't got qualified people or enough manpower to get it done, I can see that being a big problem. So yeah, I can see that being a stepping stone for anything. So the next thing would be, what is the actual process? If I said I want to run for mayor of Hobo, Mississippi, what do I got to do, or what do I? Is it any difference between running from a mayor, from running to the alderman, or whatever else? Like, what's that process kind of like?
No, you just go down to the city clerk office and they'll give you a packet. If you want to run for alderman in whichever ward, or if you want to run for the mayor's race or whatever, you just go down there and get a packet, and they'll tell you what the job of things that you have to do in order to be a mayor, to be an alderman. And they give you a list of stuff, the criteria and stuff like that, and how long you have to be inside that ward to run for that like a certain aldermen, some ward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You have to live inside that ward for so long, but not mayor and alderman at large. You don't have to. You just have to live inside the city for that number of years.
Okay, so I can't just run, come into a city fresh off moving in, stay there for a few months and say, hey man, I want to run for mayor, and jump out there and decide
No,
I
I,
want to run for mayor.
no, I know it used to be a year, but I think it's moved to 2 years. You got to be inside that ward for a year to 2 years.
Okay, okay. So okay, you decide you want to run for a city office, you go down and they say they give you a packet and whatnot.
Right.
And once you move on from there, what is that like? Because we see people running for all types of offices all the time. Um, I've seen people, you got to raise funds, they say, to buy all the signs and whatnot, and you got to kiss the babies and all of that. Like, what is that kind of like for because we just looking on the outside looking in, we don't really know what it's actually like anymore.
Well, once you put it in and they give you the go ahead that you have been approved to run for that office, then you just set up your campaign to where people can donate funds, or you can raise money to run for your office, or you can just fund it out your own pocket. It just depends on what you want to do, and sometimes people get the idea, well, well, I funded this, and you owe me this favor, or you owe me that favor, and things like that. I've never been one since this. It took me three chances. I ran for alderman at large, didn't get it. Ran for alderman Ward 6 again, didn't get it that time, and so the last time I won. But my the biggest thing was just funding it out of my own pocket. I, I just wanted to go ahead and just say, hey, look, I'm doing this. I mean, this is something that I wanted to do. No one put me up to it, and so I just funded it out of my own pocket.
And I can see that's a big thing, and you hear it a lot. The rumblings of people saying, "Man, such and such bought him," or "Oh man, he backing them." So now we feel like some of our officials may become beholden to somebody else. You get what I'm saying? What they
Right.
call the Manchurian candidate. They may be one person standing there, but it's really somebody else behind the scenes running something. But I'm sure that gives you a little bit more latitude and freedom to say what you want to say, like you do most of the time. So because you really ain't beholden to nobody but the people in the ward and the people of the city, so you can probably speak a little differently than some other people if you in another city and they done took a bunch of money from somebody, or somebody said, hey, I want you to run for city corner, I'm gonna put you up to it, but it's always some type of deal they made maybe.
Right. And then any monetary donations that they got, they have to report it to the ethics commission. Anything that they get or whatever, it has to be reported. So, they can't sit over there and lie and say that they didn't get something, and then somebody, you've seen it a lot in the news, especially up there around Jackson, where they say, this garbage company, they gave out this amount of monetary donation to a person and stuff like that, and you don't want to get caught up in stuff like that.
Jen, Zan, y'all got any questions before we keep?
This is good. Yeah, y'all were flowing. Alderman Spiller, my question is because I have a burden for the youth. Um, I was born, reared, and raised in Brookhaven, Mississippi as well. And so I want to know, as the Alderman, like, what are some things that you're doing in your ward to help our children? I mean, as far as literacy issues, this gun violence and all the things, all the troubles that we're faced with in our small town of Brookhaven. How are you trying to? What are the things that you're doing that's trying to better your ward? I know that as a community, we need to work as a village, as a whole. But personally, what are you doing? Because I want to get into that.
Well, I mean, just getting out and talking to the children in my community, like over in Roger Circle. I mean, I got a lot of kids over up in there. It was like a little baby root over up in there. And every time gunshots would ring out, it didn't matter if it was 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I get out and I walk. And I
Mhm.
walk that neighborhood. And I find those little kids and I talk to them and I let them know, hey, look, this is, we don't need to be doing this. I mean, kids killing kids, and then when you turn around here, then, I find out that they're
Mhm.
best friends shooting at each other, all
Wow.
because of stuff like video games
Mhm.
or, or one cracks the joke on the other one and he just couldn't take it, and sometimes it's even relatives, you know,
Mhm.
uh, they get caught up in east side versus west side and all this kind of stuff. And I just get out and try to talk to the youth. And one of the biggest things, and Jen, when we was growing up, we had the team center. We had
Mhm.
all this other kind of stuff, swimming pools and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so I just wanted to incorporate some kind of community center, swimming pool and stuff like that. Now I brought it up one time before in a board meeting, and it was kind of like I heard crickets. You know,
Mhm.
nobody wanted to entertain what I was saying, and one of the biggest things that I saw that could happen is a community pool. Like I said, I wanted to try to do something like um, Olympic size pool because we don't have anything down in this area. But what that would do, that would also create a sporting event for the public school system to where
That's
Mhm.
true.
you could get the schools tied into it, you can get the county schools, and then incorporate the sheriff department and the police department going in being security. And just, you have to find those funds and revenues because if we go put just a swimming pool over there by LI, now who is really gonna go over there and swim in
Swim.
that pool and then be able to keep the upkeep of that pool? It needs to be in a centralized location to where
Mhm.
everybody can invest and be able to be a part of that pool. You understand what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
understand, and you're also teaching your children how to swim. That's
Right, right, right,
a
right,
trait that our kids in Brookhaven, I know because for my nephew, we have to take him to a private lesson, and
right.
some kids don't have
The funds.
the funds to
Yes.
thank you, Jarvis, to do that. And so let me ask you, Artemis Phillip, what is it? How can the community? I know, and I kind of try to stay away from the political side, and I
Right.
understand and respect your position. But how can the community help you? What is it? Are there fundraisers that we should be doing? What can we do? Because what I believe before all of our generals and our giants get out of here, is there some type of endowment we can start? I just feel that it's too many of us that are educated and knowledgeable. And, with all of us, I say all the time, we should be collaborating, not competing. If we can get that part out the way, I think
Mhm.
we're forced to be reckoned with. So how could the community better help the aldermen and to get these things done? What is it we can do? Because I have an organization myself and I know how to get that money. So tell me, what is it that we need to do to make these things happen?
Well, we just need to get together and form some kind of collaboration to where, first we get the site. Once we
Mhm.
get the site, Then we come in and then we bring the actual paperwork on what size building we need and what are we going to put in this building. I mean, once we get all of this stuff done, then we can move forward with whatever else we want to do. But the key thing is that we just need to get together and let the board and let the supervisors and everybody know that, hey, look, we're working together and this is something that we want. We got to have a grant writer. We got to get somebody to be able to get those funds in here. We got to send somebody up there to the state capitol and let them know, hey, look, we got what, 2-3 senators. Then we got a U.S. senator, and just let them know, hey, look, we want to do something for these children. That's just like they was telling me about, and I caught slack on about down there in downtown Brookhaven. They wanted to be able to bring daiquiris outside of the places and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that we've done a lot for the downtown area, but we have not done not one thing for these kids. And that's what they keep hollering about. Oh, these kids, they in the street, they doing this, they doing that. Well, give them something
they have nothing to do.
And then you won't have to worry about the kids, and then you can start bringing your liquor outside the stores and be able to don't have to worry about a kid coming through and stealing your purse or going over and stealing your cars. Give them something to do, and then if they keep on doing it, then I say lock them up.
Right. I remember growing up, we had, like you said, the teen center. We had, during the summer, we had baseball games. We had the swimming pool that we learned how to swim at. So, I truly believe that, I'm not there. I'm not home like I want to be or used to be, but I do know that if you don't keep them occupied, they're lost. They don't have anything to do. So what else they can do but fight each other or cause commotion or whatever the case may be. I know here in Washington or even around the US, you have the YMCAs. So, if you brought something like the YMCA kind of atmosphere into the equation, I think that will help, because it doesn't just help one community or one ethnic culture. It helps everybody. So, it brings revenue, and it brings revenue, and it also brings jobs to the community, because that's 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So, the YMCA is a great thing to look at. That motto, is a great thing to look at.
Let's put a pin right there. And I just want to throw this out there, and we can talk offline. You said the YMCA. Now, that's a whole organization. Have we thought about joining like a franchise and just getting with the president of the YMCA and bringing that? And once we begin to develop that, because see, in the Y, you have the basketball courts, you have the tennis courts, you have the swimming pool. Zandra, that was a beautiful
Everything.
suggestion. And so, because the why, I mean, their whole it's a whole thing, right? And so, have we thought about, let's just reach out to them, since we can't get the community to help us or whatever. We can just reach out to other people, and I'm telling you, like literally, they'll come set the whole thing. It's just like a franchise,
It
and
is a
you have
franchise.
people to run it. So that's something that we definitely can talk about online, to reach out, write the letters that we need to write, because obviously we need it. There's nothing there for our children. So I don't see, the only stipulation is if our governmental officials would block it, but I don't, that'll be a whole different thing. But
So
that's
what
good.
Jen is saying, I think I was actually present at one of the meetings where you guys brought up the building. You talked about the community center, Andre, and they said they was willing to do a study. Was that with? I don't want to
What
misspeak.
you study?
Well,
I'm
I guess
sorry.
to see where they're gonna put it or whatever may happen. He maybe can tell me more, but I think I remember them saying that, as a group, they can approve a study for it to start. I don't know when the end date is, but it was approved to. I may be wrong.
They
It was
was
And
approved to
looking
I
start.
for
guess
they was looking for an actual site to be able to put it on, because the Second Save building is owned by somebody out of New York. And the reason why I was saying the Sac State building, because that building would be a real good centralized location, and you can bus the
Mm-hmm.
kids in and stuff like that from the schools, and then you have the School of Arts right across the street. They could utilize it because then that would help with with receiving federal funds and stuff like that, because that'll give those kids somewhere to go as well. And then the other side of it, I saw right across the street from the FEMA building out there, the city owns that property. So that would be another centralized location to where those kids could go over and utilize that part. So we were just looking at, a case study on where we could put it. But that's all that was. But we hadn't moved any further on that case study about finding the places yet. But I think that if the citizens get involved and come down and and be a part of it, because I think that we as citizens need to be involved with this as well. Because like I said, it affects us just as well as it affects the people surrounding us.
So my question is, I mean, you're saying to have the citizens. So would it be each alderman's responsibility to make sure that their ward is present and accounted for, or how does that work, or how does each alderman encourage their people to come out and be a part of whatever's going on in the community, or whatever meeting or you guys are have that's open to the public? How does an alderman do that, or does all the aldermans do that?
Well, that's a good question. And I hadn't really sat down and talked to any of them other than about three people when it comes to doing something like this for the community. And we'll sit down and we'll say something, but we won't do nothing.
Mhm.
And we
So yeah.
need to we need to be able to collaborate and get together on this, because it's not uh, who has the most clout type thing. And it
Right.
should not be about that. It should be about these citizens in
Amen.
Brookhaven and these kids.
Hmm.
My
Mhm.
my
I,
confusion has always been, what's the advantage of not having it? Like when you sitting around and you got a board full of people, right? And you ask, it's what, seven of y'all?
Yeah,
Seven of y'all plus the mayor, if that's right. So we got seven people plus the mayor, and we say, hey, we want a community center. And you look all around, I would be curious to know, besides yourself, what's everybody's objection? You get what I'm saying? Why shouldn't we have one? Is it the location? Do I want it on my side of town versus his side of town? Is it I want y'all to put my name on the building. You get what I'm saying? Like, I need to know
mhm, mhm,
what type of wheels are turning in these people's head.
And not
Even as the mayor, you know, is he pushing for it? Is he against it? Is he for it? Like, I that type of stuff makes me very curious when I see people, and people will come up to me sometimes sidebar and say, hey man, we need this, we need that in the community. And I'll say, hey, go talk to your alderman. But I think my confusion comes in is that I have an accessible alderman, and I don't know if it's the same for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
and
Maybe
mhm.
that's the confusion.
right, right.
I,
But
I'm
now,
just, you
while
know,
you're doing that, why not only that question, but did they not benefit from those things when we were growing up? Did they not benefit? Did they not see the difference between when we were more active, even though we didn't have as much as these kids have now? But look at how active we were, and we had less, you know.
right.
So did they not benefit from those, I would say back then, those luxuries that we had, did they not benefit
Well,
too?
yeah, they benefit from it because we had the one that was at the high school. I mean, it
Hmm.
was kind of like segregated because
But we
the
can
one,
go.
the, yeah, but we could go. And then when they shut that one down over by ALI Field, it was because they said that the liner and the concrete was cracking, so they had to go ahead and get rid of it. And then when we started going to the one over by Brookhaven High School, then that was the problem. So then they went on and shut it down. But the thing behind it is, I just think that now we're living in a time now that whites and blacks, they go on together now. We didn't have that back in the days, and now it's a more uh, uh, laid back atmosphere, and it's not like it was back then. So I think that if we just put a pool somewhere in a centralized location, I think everybody would benefit from it, and everybody could enjoy, that pool, or like a game room. I know some kids even get paid to play video games. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a business
esports,
now.
esports.
Right,
Mhm.
esports. So even if you incorporated something like that next to a swimming pool, or a big building, to where you have an esports, or you could have an indoor basketball court that could be turned into a volleyball court. Because these kids now, we have it in school now, so they would benefit from it as well, because they have to. I don't know where they playing volleyball at now. Things at the what at the in the gym where they have volleyball games. So they had a
I'm not
volleyball
sure.
team for
I'm
Brookhaven.
not certain.
So all of this kind of stuff, I mean, the school would benefit from it, and it's just so much stuff that we can do to incorporate this. We just have to put ourselves together and be willing to go ahead and make it happen.
Because see, a big thing I see too is that, and this is no knock against them, but a lot of these schools are trying to go private, charter school,
Right,
homeschool. They
right.
want to utilize the city stuff, but they don't want to mingle and commingle with the city. So we need to get something that's for us. Uh-oh, we lost Andre. Oh, he popped back in. I think he hit the button by mistake. Yeah, we have a lot of things that are for us, but the resources are trying to be shifted elsewhere now. You get what I'm saying? I know they got I think they opened up another pool out by Zetas. Um, you got the country club over here by us building cabins and things of nature, stuff that all people can use, but it's not necessarily for the
It's
people.
not. It's not for all people. All
It's
people can use it, but it's not all for all people. So let's
there we
just
go.
let's deal with the elephant in the room now. I don't. We not go tiptoe around it, and we understand that. And so, what I want to know, as you said earlier, J. Rob, back to your question, what are the objections? Even if it's about cloud and all that, I just think I think it's really irresponsible because as a future mortician, funeral director, I'm seeing our children die. When are we gonna get to the point to say I gotta put all this personal stuff aside because our babies are out here dying? Why? Because they're idle. The Bible says that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. We got kids out here with nothing to do. They're dropping out of school. I don't really see the truancy officers doing what they need to do. I want to know, number one, what are the objections and how can we overcome that? And number two, as a community, not what had happened, forget that because we can't change that. What needs to happen and how can it happen and when can it start? And that's what I'm about. I'm about progression. All this, well, they didn't do that, it don't matter because it ain't nothing we can do about that, right? It's over with. As of today, I don't even know what the date is. How do we move forward? How can we save these baby lives? And I even when we talk about this is my last question, I guess I had three. When we talk about going to the board meetings, I heard those have been condensed now. So you have like a board meeting, then you have an executive meeting. I don't know how all that stuff works because I don't attend any of them, and I guess I should. But is it apropos for the community to all come out for these meetings, or do we need to have separate meetings? What are the suggestions for the community? Because if you need us to promote it, that listen, I'm raising my hand. Okay, I'll take that. Let me begin to promote. It's time for us to go here because this is what it's gonna take for us to do the next thing. So I guess
And
my
that's a
first question is the objections, what
well,
we need to do to start, and then yeah.
okay. The objections is like I said, which side of town you want to put it on. Well, I think it needs to be here. I think it needs to be there. I don't care where it can be. I just think it needs to be in a centralized location to where everybody can enjoy it because some is not going to go to one side of town, some not going to
Mm-hmm.
go to the other side of town. So it needs to be in a centralized location. The first thing we
Mm-hmm.
need to do, we need to include the community as a whole. Come down to the
Mm-hmm.
board meeting, express their concerns and stuff like that, and let's get this moving forward. Because I mean, unless the community comes out as a whole and supports the idea, then it's dead. I mean, look,
So,
ain't nobody saying nothing, don't nobody want to say anything, but we got to make sure that the voices is heard by coming down there and letting them know and expressing, hey, this is what we want. What can we do to make it happen?
So, Alderman Spiller, let me ask you something because I do know that we're on a time frame when we have these board meetings, right? And so
Right,
I'm just thinking, and again, I have not been to one, but so we have all these people coming down. Should there be a time where we meet before and have a spokesperson? Because everybody can't talk at the same time. And just like me, you see, I know our culture, we're very gesturous. I move my hands, I pop my neck, but I don't mean
right,
no harm. All people don't understand the way that I articulate my conversation.
right.
So to diffuse some of that stuff, should it be a spokesperson? Should we have like a group of people? Like I'm not saying that the community shouldn't come. I know the community cannot fit in the boardroom. I,
Right.
I, I suppose I don't know the size of it, but I'm certain everybody can't fit in it. You know, I guess what I'm trying to say, should we form um, an executive team
Yeah,
that can really speak for the community? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because for everybody to go down there, you gonna have somebody say, "Hey, I don't like that."
right,
I'm gonna be honest, because we get
right,
a little
right.
wild. And
Correct.
so these are the things that we really need to talk about. These are the hard truths, and it's no knock to anybody. But when we're in a professional um, formal or informal meeting, we need to be decent and in order. And sometimes we have so many things on our daily agenda. We can't talk about everything in one night. Let's talk about. I did attend a meeting at the community center. That was a very good, productive meeting. Are we taking these things to the board? Are we doing that, or are we just? Where are we with it? What have you seen? I guess that's
All
my
right.
question.
Now the first thing that you asked about forming a committee, yes, we
Hmm.
need to get a spokesperson to come, but at the same time, everybody needs to show up. I mean, it's just like y'all talk about the background. So we came on, how the background look or whatever. So if
Hmm.
you got a background full of people and you got a spokesperson that's up there talking, and they see that you wasn't up there just talking to yourself because you got a room full of people in there with you, then that's what it needs to be. But
Okay.
on the other hand of things, you talked about well, when they asked about when we had this community meeting. So when I went to a community meeting, they said, Andre, the boardroom was not big enough. We need to put it
Hmm.
in another spot. So I went in there and I asked them. I said, "Hey, look, I attended the meeting. I mean, Jarvis can collaborate with what I'm saying. I went in
Hmm.
there and I said, hey, look, I said they said the board meeting's not big enough. Can we talk to the county and see about getting it in the courtroom upstairs where it's big enough?" Crickets again.
Hmm.
But I mean, whatever I get from over there at the community center, I bring it to the board. I mean, and
Hmm.
and everybody has a chance. I mean, they're ask anybody that they can attend these community meetings, but it's only been two. Yeah, James attended one, but it normally be like me and Don Underwood over there at the community meeting.
Hmm.
And
Wow.
I think some of that is it's a different environment. Um, when you go to the board meeting, you get up and you get about 5 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, to speak.
Right,
Now, but you're only making a statement. They don't have to answer your question. And see, that's one of the tricky parts of it. I can get up there and say, why don't we have a community center? But they don't have to answer anything. They can, if I understand this correctly. Andre, stop me if I'm speaking out of turn. I think they can respond if they want to, but they don't necessarily have to. And what you get is if you can go back, this ain't nothing I'm making up. All you gotta do
Hmm.
is go look up City of Brookhaven YouTube page and watch a board meeting. It's so many of them that are so dismissive of the citizens. They will play on their phone, rocking their chair, spin around, looking all around the room because they don't really they know they don't have to answer you. But if you come to that community meeting, now you on the hook because it ain't nothing in between you. It ain't no Robert's rules. You see what I'm saying? That's what they go by, the Robert's rule book, all that. You know what I'm saying? And that could be changed, but they would have to want to change it. You get what I'm saying? But the people that are inactive benefit from it not being changed because they don't
Right.
have to answer any questions. They not in the hot seat because the people where they live ain't asking them, hey man, what you doing about this? What you
Because
doing
they
about
have
that?
what they need. They
They
have what
got
they
what they
need.
need.
They
They
have
got
what
what
they
they
need.
need.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
or either they just not concerned with it and they can look just like us. It don't matter.
Right. And that is a bad thing that we've gotten as a culture, as a people. We've gotten to the place I got mine, get yours. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a village mentality anymore, and it's so disheartening. Whew. Oh, okay. All right. Next
I know
question.
because I mean I don't know how the wards are broken up, so it's that's the thing for me. And maybe other people don't know how their wards are broken up, and maybe that's an issue because they don't know really who to go to because they don't know who they're. For one, they gotta go vote. That's
That's a
number
big
one.
thing. From my understanding, by the numbers, Brookhaven is about a 60 something percent black town,
Hmm.
with the 40 to 39% being white, then the other about 1% other.
Hispanic.
Right.
Right.
The board of aldermen almost reflects it accurately because we have four black aldermen, three white aldermen, and with alderman at large is a white guy also. But what I'm saying, it almost balances out and it looks similar to the makeup of the city. You get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? We
Hmm.
recently changed wards. I go to a lot of this, so I try to keep up with it because I'm a transplant here. So when I get here and I see things moving oddly, I begin to ask questions. I begin to try to figure out what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
and the more you try to figure out what's going on, the more shocked you will be at how things actually are functioning. You get what I'm saying? When I got here, I was told that the speeding problem I had by my house couldn't be remedied. We ain't nothing we can do, ain't nothing that can be done. But now magically it's remedied because I got a new alderman. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that people just want to do because they want to do it, or they don't feel like doing the extra step. But
Hmm.
if nobody's voting, if only 40% of the town is voting, that's how much in Brookhaven, black, white, other, only about 40% of the town is voting. Period. And we only got about 12,000 people in Brookhaven.
My God.
Hmm.
So that's
And
the first problem.
right,
A
and
big one.
and you said crime. You was talking about crime, Miss Johnson.
Hmm.
The like I said, Rogers Circle was a bad spot. I mean, you just hear it, it's just like little baby. And I got in there and I started tearing down houses. I started talking to some of the folks off up in there and stuff like that, and it has calmed down a lot over in Rogers Circle. Then I had another bad spot over there, that trailer park behind the brown bag over on Union Street. That's gone. That's not there anymore. But people are, being able to go over there to the brown bag, stuff like that. Nobody's over there doing anything wrong, stuff like that. You don't have that problem. Now I have a problem with the cleanup. You
I'm
know,
gonna run for alderman. Come
right,
on,
right,
listen,
right.
listen.
Look, and we
I'm
got Pastor
telling you.
Jerry back. The people that
I'm
don't
telling
know,
you.
Pastor Jerry hosts the community meetings that was on last week. And he hosts a
Mm,
lot of these community meetings and he's went to the board and spoke for us and been a spokesperson. But like you said, it's only so many of us that go. And so it doesn't look as powerful as it needs to be. You get what I'm
my
saying?
goodness, I get what you're saying, and even now, my heart is just so full because over the last few years, I've been doing a lot of traveling, and now that I'm preparing to move back to Brookhaven, Brookhaven has always been my first love because that's where I was born. I just have a heart, and again, for these children. And it's very sad. It's unfortunate that we're losing our children to senseless gun violence. I mean, just senseless. It's about nothing. Our children don't have the values and morals, and it's little things like, whether people believe it or not, let's do the studies. Get in a community center, getting on, putting on your boots like Alderman Spiller, getting out in the community, talking to the people. Let me tell you what I know about people, and it's biblical. They want to know that you care.
Mhm.
People want to know that you care, and they want to be able to have a source to come to, comfortability, someone they can talk to. And so I just applaud you. I thank you, because just listening to you, that's what you're providing for your citizens in your ward, and it's needed everywhere. No knock to anybody else, but my prayer is that we can come together as a community, as the town of Brookhaven, Mississippi, and wherever else you living in, come together as a people, and stop trying to degrade one another. It's not about me. The Bible says, whatever you do, do it unto the Lord. And if we can have that mindset and say, hey, we doing this for the kingdom, then that's a whole different thing. But man, I really appreciate you. And this conversation can get very lengthy, but you have just enlightened me. And we gonna talk offline, because there's some things that I feel that I can help you with. I don't even know who my alderman is. Ain't that say? Charles
Oh,
Caston, I think. Well, hey, I ain't living in Brookhaven like that. I got a Denham Springs
well, it's
address.
down the street, cause yeah, you down the street. Cause even where you building, it might be close to the same.
Yeah,
But
well,
anyway,
right
I
now I'm
think
working
William
on
Caston.
right now I did a gun class, for seniors and people that never shot a gun before and stuff like that. And I had over 30 some people that came, and they really enjoyed it. They was asking me when I was going to do another one. I'm going to try to set up another one. Uh, then I got this Easter egg hunt that's coming up on the 30th of March. I'm doing it over there at the over at Lipsy Park over there on Hartman Street
Man,
for
this is awesome.
12 and under. Like I said, it's just something. Like I said, I don't need my face on nothing. I just want to
I
do
get
this.
it. Me either.
I want to do this for the kids. I
Hmm.
want to give back to the community and just show my appreciation for just being able to have 50 some years of living here in Brookhaven and really make a
Hmm.
difference or impact on somebody's life.
And
That's
And I was
Jerry,
beautiful.
just I
go
was
ahead,
just sitting
Sam.
here
Great.
thinking, the summer's about to come, and even spring break. I don't know the weather there right now, but summer's about to come, and I know we don't have a teen center yet, but what about a monthly 4-on-4 basketball tournament? Stuff like
We
that,
used to have
because you
Hoop
do.
Fest.
Yeah,
We
you
used to
used to.
drive all the way from Copiah County to come to Hoop Fest.
So
We
I
used to have
mean,
Hoop Fest.
just bring that back. I mean, I know again you don't have the community center, but you do have the community that I know those kids will come out, and I know parents, even adults, you can do it to a certain age that you have like a festival for nothing but a basketball day. Bring Hoop Fest back. I never went to Hoop Fest in Brookhaven, but bring Hoop Fest back. Um,
Hmm.
just summer things that they can do outside. I know look, we're into tennis. Our color's into tennis now. You got a tennis court. Use that. Stuff like that. A tennis festival or tennis something, or a day that you bring somebody in that teaches kids how to do tennis. So, just little things until you get that teen center going. Those are little things that I'm just thinking of in my mind.
Um, Jerry wants to know, Andre, can he
Where to
drop
drop
eggs off?
eggs.
Can he donate? What I guess that'll be a good question. If
Yeah.
anybody wants to donate toward the Easter egg hunt, it'll be on a Saturday. So then
Yeah.
Sunday you can go about with your family and do your business. So it's on a Saturday, not a Sunday. Andre, is it anywhere or any
I'm gonna help
contact
you
you want
out.
to?
I'm gonna help you out, Andre. Make sure your eggs are already stuffed with the candy in plastic eggs, right?
Well, now the thing that and the thing that I wanted to do was is just to give them like some blank eggs, and then allow them to be able to pick up, because once they pick up, then they can bring those eggs back there, and then they'll get their pack. As
Hmm.
far as candy go or whatever,
Okay.
then
That's good.
allow and then if we got more kids coming, then we can go out and have some more eggs for them and stuff like that. But
Okay.
we just make the bags for them and stuff, and then they can be able to do it that way.
Okay, so it's another Easter egg hunt the
in the
next
same
day at the
location.
Yeah,
same
yeah,
location.
uh-huh.
So kids
Hmm.
will have an opportunity to do it 2 days in a row.
Right,
You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
Now,
right,
think that's, yeah,
I'm
that's
a I'm a
consistency beyond
Consistency
limitation.
I'm gonna
beyond
touch on
limitation.
right.
something that's been a real sensitive subject, and it will be dismissive of me because I know everybody wants to know. Um, we've been back and forth with the chief of police, whether it is going to be appointed or elected. We currently, well, before we had an elected chief of police, then you guys voted and it went to appointed. After that, we was the first time they had a few people abstain. You had a few people vote, and then went a couple weeks later. They went back and said, "Wait, we changed our mind. We want to go back to elected." So recently, you guys just went back to appointed. So my thing is, I know you voted yes. What's your why to why you wanted appointed, and can you explain the difference between what happens with elected and appointed?
Okay, well, we always have had an elected police chief. And now the pickings are getting slim. And we don't know who could be the next chief. We don't know how things could go. And I'm not talking about the chief that we have now. All I'm thinking about is what we have going on in this community as a whole, and just trying to get a grasp on things, and being able to go out from our comfort zone of just being inside the city limits and being able to go out and find someone else. So the thing and the reason why, and that's the reason, one of the reasons why I said let's go to an appointed chief. Now I voted all three times that we did it. I still voted for an appointed chief of police. I never changed my mind. The other thing is that uh, I want to form well, I mean that's just me, my opinion. Now I'm not talking for the rest of all. I'm talking for Stu.
Hmm.
Go out and get a citizens review board consisting of two panels from each ward, two people from each ward to being able to be on this community review board. Go out and try to let somebody come in, put the applications in and stuff like that. You have a 12 panel board to where they can go in and then they can review the police chiefs and stuff like that because you don't want to just put all the power in the alderman's hands that the citizens still be a part of appointing the next chief of police for Brookhaven. You know, it shouldn't be in the alderman's hands like that. You know, give the citizens something to vote on as well. And then when you get it down to what narrow down to two people, then you let them have a debate and
Mm.
let that decide on okay, well now it's time to put it in the alderman's hand to decide who's going to be the next police chief. Uh, but I just think that we just need to get with the times because, like I said, back in the day, it used to be a wagon wheel. Now we're riding in cars. People got to just get over it and let's just move forward. I know in some of the churches and stuff like that, some of the members don't vote. They got people that's deacons and everything like that that makes decisions for churches. So
Right.
and then you hear them come over there saying, "Oh, well, you doing this, you doing that." Well, hey, well, look at what you doing at the church. So I mean, President Biden, we can't make no tell Biden what to do. It's that's why they put people in to govern these places like the city and
Appointed.
state
Hmm.
level and things like that. So I mean, the judgment is theirs. If they not making the right decision, they put somebody in the wrong position, get them out of office. It's just as simple as that. If the alderman is not doing what he's supposed to do, get him out of office. If I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, get me out of office.
Now, I do agree with you on that, and now I do know this much. Out of the counties in the state of Mississippi, I think it's only 5 or 6 counties that are electing chief of police anyway.
Right.
It's about
And
five
no,
or six.
and if you go back and do the study on 'em, most of them are kinship towns to where I mean,
Hmm.
everybody is kin.
Yeah, that's all that's left. I mean, now I know that for a fact. 5 or 6 left that are elected. And then Jarvis, you stated earlier, if only 40% of Brookhaven is voting, I mean,
Yeah,
the
I mean,
people.
because even if I'm off by a percentage point, but it's very
That's
close. It's
okay.
about 40%.
That's okay.
But you have to realize, like, that's an odd, weird number. That's a
It
sad
is.
number.
It's
If
a
if
sad
if
number.
I'm being honest,
We
that's
have
a
a lot of
sad number.
opinions, but nobody's doing the work. I
Right.
got it.
Right.
Everybody like to talk. Everybody like to run up and say, this is what we should be doing. They'll shoot you to death. You get what I'm saying? They want to shoot you to death, but they're
Seven.
not actually being
Seven.
active because when you
Thank you,
talk to
Jerry.
somebody, they'll say, oh, they gonna do what they want to do anyway. You get what I'm saying? But like Andre said, I didn't know they had preachers filling out applications now. You got to go by these certain rules and regulations when you the preacher now. And if you ain't doing it,
You out of
you
there.
up out of there. So
You out of there.
look, I understand it. Like Andre said, if you a chief, you a alderman, a mayor, if somebody need to be able to tell you what to do. That's my thing. Because
Accountability.
accountability, that
That's
makes more
it.
sense
That's
to
the
me.
better
That's a
word.
better
Hmm.
word. I like accountability because if you my pastor and you just running my church like a waffle house, um, I'm gonna get you up out of there
Not a
one way or the
Waffle
other.
House. Not
Waffle
a
house, just stuff on the floor, doing what you want to
same.
do. Yeah, cussing in the pulpit, whatever you want to do.
Boy.
You know what I'm saying? You got to go. It's
You
just that
gotta go.
simple though. But if nobody can talk to you, if nobody can deal with you, get them up out of there. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, but when you're in an elected position, I know you can't. You just gotta wait. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Mhm.
And there's
Right.
no checks and balances. Like Andre was kind of talking about, like even with Biden, that's why you got the legislative and the judicial branch to check that presidential branch, the executive branch. We learned that in government as kids. You supposed to know
Mhm.
these things, but
Right.
we forget them when we get in the real world, so to speak, because we don't look at it like that. You get what
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? And the aldermen and the mayor and the chief, they just regular people.
Right.
They
So
are.
you got to talk to them as a regular person. You get
Well,
what I'm saying? Like,
and sometimes people sit here and they ask you like, what are you doing? And I try to do stuff in my ward, and then they just like, okay, well, still, you just trying to run the whole town. No, I'm not trying to run the whole town. I care about this town, but like over in my ward, from wards all the way back up to the country club road going to Brigham, I'm getting lights put up down through off 51 highway because it's dark off up in there.
It's so
My
dark.
bridge been out on North Jackson Street for about 5, 6 years. All right, now I got a bridge up there because I went and talked to the county because the city told me that they didn't have the funds. So I went to the county. I found out we didn't have a good rapport between the county supervisors and the board of aldermen. So then I went in and I helped along with a couple more aldermen, but we went in and formed a rapport back with the supervisor. Well, the supervisor gave me $240,000 to help fix my bridge. I went back to
Mm.
the board. I went back to the alderman. They said, and the mayor said, we don't have the funds. So then I left there and had to go talk to Jason Barrett with the state legislator, and then talk to the Mississippi Department of Transportation, and I got over 300 some thousand dollars to fix my bridge.
so
My
Mhm.
God.
because Jason Barrett is a Mississippi senator, correct?
Yeah, he's a Mississippi senator, right?
Mhm.
He's right here local as an attorney here, nice
Right.
guy, like him, man. Um, I think we get, like you said, we got a U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde
Cindy
Smith
Hyde Smith.
here. Her office is downtown, but you
Right.
see these people and you don't think of them in that way, but they got access to those funds, and
We
Mhm.
ask not because we want not. You
Hmm.
have to
That's
yeah,
ask
right.
because we close mouth won't get fed.
That's
hmm
right.
And like I said, I had to get out and hustle any kind of way I can to get what I got to get.
And it's because you care. Again, I want to say this to you before we get out of here. Again, I want to say I appreciate you just for what you're doing. And you definitely challenged me tonight. That's something that we talk about all the time. Like for me, moving back to Brookhaven, I'm ready to put my boots on the ground and start working because it's necessary. And keep doing what you're doing. Everybody's not gonna like what you do, but that's okay. They didn't like what Jesus did. Always
Right.
remember that. Like everybody did, they crucified him, and he came to save us all. And so, my prayer is that God will continue to bless you in your endeavors, and hopefully everybody can get on this bandwagon and we can do this together to better Brookhaven, Mississippi, to help our elderly, our youth, and the whole community at large. And so, again, kudos to what you're doing.
Right.
I support you. If there's anything that J. Marie Global, Bashite Trucking, anything that we can do for you personally, and you're not even my alderman, I support you because I support
Right.
Brookhaven, Mississippi. Yeah.
Thank
And for me, I'm not in Brookhaven, even from here from Washington, if you need me to look up something or make something up, some flyers or whatever the case may be, just know that you can pull on me. I can do some administrative work for you. Hey, that's home. That's home. My grandmother's still there.
Yeah.
Both my whole family's still there. So that is
Yeah.
That's
still
right.
yet home. So I got to make sure home is straight.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, okay, just lastly, man, look, Andre, if there's anything that we got coming down the pipeline, citywide, that the people need to show up to, the Easter egg hunt, we know we need to show up to that. Anything that you need to put on the people's minds in short, that because I'm gonna chop this show up and I'll go back and pull out some things so we can put it online because people don't like to watch a whole hour. So
Right.
we usually have a lot of people that come afterwards and watch this thing at a later time. So if there's
Right.
anything important that you want to throw out here at the end that we need to be aware of, because I can't think right off the top of my head, I can't think of nothing that I've heard in the board. Because I usually watch them online. If I'm not there in person, you can watch all these board meetings online on YouTube. But
Right.
if there's anything that you can think of that's coming up that the people need to be aware of or want to talk about, man, or what we got going on or what you got going on, just lay it on us right quick.
Oh well, one of the biggest things that I see is we just need to get more informative. Get with the local your local officials, and I mean anything that you have out there, bring it to the table and let them know. I mean, because like I said, we work for you all. We don't work for ourselves. If we need input, so we can go ahead and get whatever it is that we need to get, so we can start looking for this stuff. My main thing is funding. Get out, try to get us a grant writer or something like that because I've been pushing it. Some more aldermen have been pushing it and stuff like that. But we need a grant writer to get out and get us these funds. And my main thing right now is these kids. Get out and try to help these kids get somewhere where they can go and start being more productive in society, or computer labs, or somewhere for them to go play basketball games or swimming and all this kind of stuff. Let's get some kind of community input and make it happen. I mean, because we got another year and 3 months left in office. And if we want to get back in there to make things happen, we got to start pushing these aldermen now, especially myself. Make it happen. I'm not excluding myself because, like I said, I'll give kudos to anybody that wants this headache that I got right now, and it's not really a headache for me because I take pride in what I do, and I appreciate you all for allowing me to take the time to put my input out here and let y'all know what I feel in my heart and whatever y'all need from me. Like I said, you make phone calls, and I'm making a phone call with you because I'm gonna tell you to hold on. And I do my stuff on the journey on the spot. I don't wait and say I'm gonna check into it. Do our job.
Hey, listen, that's one thing I can attest to. Man, look, when you say headache, you probably talking about me because I stay right next to a problem area in Brookhaven. And some of these kids he's talking about, I see them on a regular, man, and I see them going down the wrong path. And you want to do something about it, but it's only so much we can do without having, like you said, Jen, some type of deterrent, some type of option besides jail because jail is
Mhm.
very impending and it's real. And if you think it's not, they building them every day. And they
Oh
got
yeah.
plenty of space for you.
Oh yeah.
They not gonna run out of space to put them. But right now we got a youth problem because there's not a lot of youth detention centers. And if
Right.
Brookhaven don't watch it, this is me speaking. If Brookhaven don't watch it, it's gonna be a youth detention center right here in Brookhaven for your children to go to, and you're gonna have to visit them in youth jail and talk to
Or
them on a
at the
video phone.
graveyard. Let's
Or
talk. Let's be real. Or at the
Listen,
graveyard, and
we
that's the
got
you
we
gonna
sad
got
thing.
you gonna be coming to see me, or you gonna be coming
our
to see Jen, and
Jen.
we tell y'all that over and over
Hmm.
again.
Hmm.
It ain't too
Hmm.
many options out here.
It's not.
So you
But
better
we
get
can help
active.
that. We can
Right.
help it. We
Right.
can
Right.
we can help these situations. Town
Pastor,
hall meetings will be
yep,
scheduled soon. Thank
yep.
you.
Yep.
Pastor Jerry saying,
Show up to Jerry's meeting as well, man. We do a lot of idea sharing, a lot of talking there, and getting to know what's on everybody's mind. Look, Andre, we gon' we want to run it back again because we didn't really even get to
We didn't
everything.
stress the surface, no.
If you got any alderman, I know Dunn like to pop in and pop out. If Dunn want to come on, because I know Dunn a little bit because he comes to the meetings, or any of the other guys is on the board. I don't care if it's the mayor. If he want to come on, he's more than free to come on here and talk, man, and put his ideas out. And maybe we can get to the bottom of this whole the objections to some of these things. Because it may
Yeah,
not be, the board meeting may not be the place to talk about the stuff they want to talk
right.
about. And this is a free forum. You can come on here and say what you want. Ain't nobody gonna spank you or whoop you. You can say what you need to say. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
We
we
all
agree to
grown people.
disagree. We
We
agree
can
to
Right. That's
agree to
right.
disagree.
disagree.
That's right.
You
but
get
you
what
got
I'm
to answer
saying?
our
You
questions.
got to answer something. You got to say something now. You just you can't be like the president. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Nor
You can't
deny.
just give us that. You got to give us something. So if you're scared to answer the question,
Don't
don't
come.
come on here because we
Yeah.
probably gonna ask you. So let's not do all of that. Everybody had their chance, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. This
Yes.
is this week's truth. Next week we'll have Tish Sutton. Am I saying it?
Dr. Tish
Dr.
Sutton,
Tish.
yes.
So now I
Dr.
don't mean to
Tish
not
Sutton.
disrespect. I got to put
It's
people
all
respect on
good.
their name.
No, 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 no.
So
Dr.
next
Tish
week
Sutton from Atlanta, Georgia. And so I'm excited about she's a native of Brookhaven, Mississippi as well. So excited
Okay.
about having her.
And then to close it out, who do we have?
we got the sheriff
Oh,
of Columbus. Is it
no.
the chief of police
He
of
is the
Columbus?
chief of police of Columbus, Mississippi, my brother Joseph Daughtry. And so I'm excited to have him. He was also the chief of Pelahatchie and Natchez, Mississippi. And so
Mm.
Natchez was his last location. Now he's in Columbus, Mississippi. And so
You
Chief
want to come to
Daughtry's going to.
Brookhaven? I'm just messing with you. I'm
Hey,
just
hey,
messing with
He
you.
I
right.
tell you,
He
he
right.
has been making
Oh yeah.
a
He's a
great
he's a
movement
mover.
over in Columbus.
He's a mover. He's a
I might
mover.
ask him. I might ask him now. You look
He's
now.
a
You looking
mover.
for a new job?
Yeah.
He
And
Look, since we're appointing now,
We
yeah,
gonna try to keep it
Chief
appointed.
Dodger is a good, yeah, and so I'm bringing him on because
Don't do that. Look, that's your own folks.
yeah,
It be your own people sometimes.
yo, but he's going to talk about gun violence and what they're doing to he's a good guy. He is Jerry. What they're doing to alleviate all that stuff in Columbus. I mean, he's only been there a year now, and so he's
right.
made some big moves. And I'm just
Mm.
happy to call him friend, Chief
and
Joseph
Okay,
then
Daughtry.
man.
and
And
then
so
for to hit up to the last one we got for the beginning of April, we have Counselor Awareness Month, right? And
mm-hmm.
we're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
start off with my heart, my dear Alexia Irvin. I got to remember my daughter's name is Alexis. Alexia Irvin, which is
Hmm.
a counselor at elementary, Mamie Martin. Mamie
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 Martin
Moore,
Martin.
right
Elementary.
here around the corner,
So,
right here
yep,
in our
yep,
ward. And that's
yep,
good, man, because we need to know because you got to get these kids early because by the time they
Yeah,
hit 10, 11, 12, they got their own brain. You know what
yep.
I'm saying? The internet done turned them out, everything else, because we got all this information floating around out here. So
So we
we
got some
stacking
good
them
stuff
up for
coming
y'all.
up.
Yeah, we
Be
just stacking
ready.
the episodes up, man. We trying to get ready. So anybody y'all think we need on here, y'all holler us and let us know. We out of
all
here,
right.
y'all. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Have a
Yeah.
good
Thank
night.
Night night.